Good morning. It is January 13th, 2024, and this is episode 45 of the Green Comedy PaulCast, a podcast by a dreamer for dreamers. I hope all of you are doing well out there. You are following your dreams, finding joy in your journey, in your path. And if you're just joining me for the first time, I'm a stand-up comedian, actor, and improviser. I'm currently living in the Phoenix, Arizona area. And I had the audacity to start a podcast because Lord knows there isn't enough of them out there. And the main purpose of this is just to share what I'm experiencing as I am going for an audacious, crazy, once-in-a-lifetime dream with all the hope and ambition that it will work out. And I'm just sharing what I'm experiencing, what I'm learning along the way. And if that provides some sort of guidance or inspiration, or hey, maybe even discouragement, maybe somebody goes, yeah, maybe dreaming's not for me based off of what this kid's saying. But anyway, that's what I'm out here doing. And good news, I'm on the other side of my cold. So I pretty much had a cold all week. I think it hit really its worst yesterday. Yesterday, I slept pretty much all day and I'm feeling pretty good today. So that's good news. I think that's in the rearview mirror. And I did absolutely nothing crazy. I did no, long fasts. I didn't do all of the saunas or steam rooms. I didn't, I don't know. That just seems, I didn't take any cold medicine, not one cold medicine, no NyQuil, no Dayquil, no Sudafed. I think that's allergies. What I did is I slept and drank water and didn't eat a lot of sugar. And I took some ibuprofen just because I hear that helps with swelling, and when your glands aren't as swolled, they can... Anyway, I don't know. That's what I did. Took some ibuprofen, drank a lot of water, I slept a ton, and pretty much started feeling it on Sunday. It is now Saturday morning, and I'm... last night I went to the gym, worked out, played basketball, felt great. So anyway, I'm glad that's in the rearview mirror. So this TikTok came on my TikTok. A TikTok video showed up today while I was scrolling. And I get a lot of self-help TikToks, obviously, because I'm sort of a self-help person myself, obviously, although I have my reservations about the whole self-help industry. I do gravitate towards it more so than not, probably, although with a healthy dose of cynicism and, hesitation. But anyway, so this TikTok video pops up, and it's just a dude, and he pretty much says, and I hope I'm quoting him correctly, pretty much says, if you really wanted something in your life, you would have it. So saying that you want something that you don't have is a lie. Because if you really did want it, you would have it. And he goes, everything that you have in your life right now, you have it because that's what you wanted. And the example he gave was, if your hair was on fire, funny that that's the analogy he used. He says, if your hair was on fire, you would do everything possible to get that fire out. You would claw, fight, scream, call whoever you needed to call, make whatever decisions you needed to make to get your head in a pot of water. Because you want it bad enough, right? You want your hair to not be on fire bad enough that you actually make it happen. And so he's sort of applying that analogy, saying if you want something in your life, then you would apply that same sort of urgency and determination to absolutely make it happen. And if it's not happening in your life, it's just because you don't actually want it bad enough. So I don't know. It resonated with me on a certain level, because I definitely think there is some truth to that. But I don't know about the analogy, because, sort of a life or death, my hair is on fire is a very different type of want. I'm going to twirl up this mic cord while I'm talking. Trying to get your, if your hair's on fire is a very different want than, I want to build a successful business, or I want to build a successful dream. One of them is sort of like an urgent, once you do it and your hair's out, then you would actually go back to doing whatever it is you wanted to do in life or you were doing before. I think having a dream, you're actually looking to live a different type of lifestyle, more or less, depending on, I guess it depends what your dream is. I know for mine, I am looking to accomplish a level of success as a performer, as a comedian, as an actor, that it would actually really alter my life. But I don't know. But maybe that's just an excuse. It did get me thinking. I would be curious, any of you watching this on YouTube, if you want to leave your comments, if you agree with that, disagree with that. But hey, it did get me thinking of going like, well, do I really want this bad enough? And if I did want it bad enough, wouldn't I have already accomplished what it is that I'm seeking? So I don't know. I've sort of been in a philosophical debate with myself, and challenging my beliefs and challenging my wants. And it really started getting me thinking of, well, what is it that I really want? What is it that I'm really seeking and going for? And do I want it bad enough to actually manifest it, to make it happen? And that's tough. That is a tough pill to swallow, a tough realization of, well, maybe I am copping out a little bit. Maybe I'm just doing this dream lip service because it feels so good. Be like, oh yeah, I have a dream. Oh yeah, I want to be famous. I want to be wealthy. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, good for you. But do I want it bad enough to actually make it happen? And why do I want it? Like, what do I actually think that's going to do in my life? Do I think that's going to make my life easier? Do I think it's going to make it more fulfilling? Do I think it's going to make it more exciting, more safe, more secure? In some regards, it's probably going to do the opposite of a lot of those things. I'm going to be more exposed, more in the public eye, more susceptible to criticism and critique, and more, I'll have more to lose. Right now, if I mess up and say a joke that offends somebody, nobody's really listening. You know what I mean? But you get to Kevin Hart status and you say a joke 10 years ago on Twitter and you lose the Oscars. If you're freaking Dave Chappelle, you get, crucified online and get death threats from the transgender community if you say a joke that people don't like, So it's, I don't know, that video, it really did strike me and caused me to look a little deeper. And I think that that's always important, to really analyze what it is that I'm up to, what it is that I really want. Not what do I say I want? Oh, fame and fortune. Yeah, okay, sure. But what's underneath that? That sounds, I feel like I'm being a therapist to myself, but what's underneath that, Paul? But underneath that, what is underneath that, I just want to be loved. All right. Which is true. So I've really started to look at that. What it is that I really want, why I really want that, and do I want it bad enough to go and get it and to actually make it happen, or am I just doing lip service because it sounds good to articulate some sort of dream and some sort of vision, and then just articulating it gives my life some sort of purpose and meaning, and then I can just stay in this state of pursuit and talking about it without ever actually having to get it. And why wouldn't I actually get it? Well, maybe I don't actually want it. Or do I really want it, but I'm afraid of it? Or do I want it, but I want it to look a certain way? Do I actually want it, but don't believe I can make it happen, and so that limits my effort or influences the decisions I make? I don't know. There's a lot wrapped up into that, and so I have really been, just trying to dive into all of that. So at the end of the day, I think there is some truth to that statement, though. If I really did want it, then I would really have it, or I would have it very quickly, or quicker than saying I want it. But deep down, I don't really want it, or I don't really believe it. So that's what I have been thinking about today. So whatever that means for you beautiful dreamers out there who are listening to this podcast, I would say maybe take a look at that and see what you find and what you discover about yourself. What is it that you really want? Why don't you actually have it if you really want it that bad? What's keeping you from getting it? What's actually keeping you from getting it? Not all of the excuses. Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. It's like, if we use the hair on fire analogy, there would be no obstacles. There would be no excuses. It's like, my hair's on fire. I want this fire out. I am going to find water and put this fire out. There's no excuse. There's no, oh, well, I'm busy. Oh, well, I had work. Oh, well, I'm dating somebody who, doesn't want me to have my hair put out. I don't know. I'm really stretching this metaphor as much as I can. I think you all get it. You're all smart people. So that's what I've been doing for myself is, what is it that I really want? What's keeping me from it if I really want it that bad? And then I just have some decisions to make. Do I want it bad enough to actually go and get it? Or am I just going to keep doing lip service? Or if I do want it that bad, again, what's keeping me? What do I believe about myself? What do I believe about what it will take to get it? What does it actually look like? That's the other thing, is it's really easy to stay sort of nebulous. Oh, I want to be rich and famous. Okay, there's a lot of ways to be rich and a lot of ways to be famous. Is that actually what you want? Is that actually what I want? Or is it something else that I'm seeking when it comes to wealth and fame? And I know that for me, it's a lot deeper than, oh, a lot of people know who I am. Well, I could go do something infamous and a lot of people would know who I am. And then when I'm in jail, I could write my book and make a bunch of money. There's a lot of ways to get wealth and a lot of ways to get fame, but that's not actually, it's not the wealth and the fame. It's for me, it's being in a position to be able to show up in any major town and have a sold out audience that is excited to be there and that I will be able to provide a joyful, connected comedy show. And to be able to do that on a global scale, whereas right now it's hard enough for me just to do it on a local scale or to do these little sort of mini tours. But as I've talked about in previous podcasts, nobody is coming to any show to see Paul Green. The number of tickets I have sold for people going, oh, Paul Green is doing a show, I want to buy a ticket to go see him specifically, is so negligible. We're talking maybe dozens, and these are like friends and family. That's not really significant enough to be successful in this arena. So that's what I'm seeking. That's what I want. So why don't I have it? Whew. Paul Green's getting deep in his own psychology today. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to dive into that, and hopefully maybe that sparks some ideas or some thoughts in all of you. What's keeping you from getting what you want? And if you want it bad enough, how can you remove those obstacles to go and get what it is that you want or that you claim that you want? So that is what I got for you. It is January 13th, 2024. Ooh, wild card NFL football this week, which I am looking forward to the playoffs. I will be enjoying that while I contemplate my life. And I hope you're all doing well, that you're following your dreams, that you are finding success, enjoying your journey. Again, anytime you want to leave a comment, let me know what you're up to, what your thoughts are. I would love to hear from you. And you can check this out at Paul Green Comedy on YouTube or the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast, wherever you watch podcasts. It's also on my website at paulgreencomedy.com. All right, everybody, I love you so much. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a fantastic Saturday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.